Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we're going to be continuing our series, 4 Weeks of Famous Philosophers. In this video, we're going to be looking at Sextus Empiricus himself, torchbearer of the skeptics, master of ataraxia, and only surviving ancient Pyrrhonian. Now, we could not leave the ancients without talking about the other principal school of thought, the skeptics. Plato's Academy eventually became home to the academic skeptics, such as Carneades. If you want more information on Carneades, check out my video on the namesake of the channel, Carneades of Cyrene. And if not for Sextus Empiricus, those would be the only skeptics that we would be aware of. Sextus Empiricus was not an academic skeptic. He was a Pyrrhonian skeptic, and he was the only source that we have for the arguments of Pyrrhonian skepticism. Appropriately, effectively, nothing is known of Sextus. We do not know if he lived in Rome, Athens, Alexandria, or somewhere else. We do not know when he lived, other than that it was around the 2nd or 3rd centuries CE. It is believed that he was a medical doctor of the empirical school, but otherwise, his life really is a mystery. Sextus is our only source for Pyrrho and the school that he started. In the beginning of his book, Outlines of Pyrrhonism, Sextus explained the important difference between the Pyrrhonian skeptics and the academic skeptics. The academics asserted that nothing could be known. The dogmatists, pretty much all non-skeptics, asserted that at least something can be known. There's something out there that we can know. The Pyrrhonians, on the other hand, assented to neither proposition. They neither said nothing can be known or something can be known. They weren't sure. For more on Pyrrhonian skepticism, I encourage you to check out my series, In Defense of Skepticism, in which I defend my own version of Pyrrhonian skepticism. However, even if you've watched that series, there are some important differences between my version of skepticism and the original Pyrrhonian version extolled by Sextus. Sextus uses particular modes of doubting. He has sets of like the 10 modes, the 5 modes, the 2 modes that came from different eras of skeptical philosophers. And those modes are basically arguments against common claims. Sextus goes through several lists of these in his Outlines of Pyrrhonism. I'm skeptical of some and in favor of others. A more significant difference is that for Sextus, the goal of life is to be left in a state of apostasy or ataraxia, not to eventually find a set of beliefs that will stand up to the challenges of skepticism. He describes this as a peace or tranquility that one enters into when one has given up all dogma and is left free from claims being true or false. The goal of skepticism is not to find something that is knowledge, but to enter into kind of a peaceful state of lack of beliefs. The works of Sextus Empiricus were very influential when they were rediscovered in the Renaissance. Along with Cicero's Academica, which documented the academic skeptics, the work of Sextus touched the minds and influenced the arguments of many philosophers that we will cover later in the series, such as Descartes, Hume, and Hegel. And that is not to mention his clear inspiration for the arguments of this very channel. The coin that supposedly features the face of Sextus Empiricus is in fact my profile picture, not merely because he represents a prominent Pyrrhonian skeptic, and the name of the channel was an academic skeptic, but also because without him, we would know nothing of this school. But as a skeptic, of course, Sextus and I don't know anything to begin with. That was Sextus Empiricus, torchbearer of the skeptics, master of ataraxia, and the only surviving ancient Pyrrhonian. Up next, we're going to jump significantly in time, move up to the scholastics, and take a look at St. Anselm. Watch this video and more here at Carneades.org, and stay tuned every single day for the whole month of October for a new video on a new famous philosopher. Stay skeptical, everybody.